Chapter 1, chill the frick out. Chapter 2, say the right words. And then by chapter so-and-so, it's on you.
Okay, Michael, I want to hear your opinion on manifestation. Manifestations, how did they work in your life?
I had these thoughts. If I were to have these reflective conversations to myself about manifestation, they're slightly different than the idea of discussing manifestation on camera. And the reason is my mind is cluttered with the approaches that I've seen on camera. And I think, discuss something in a different way than what's already out there in spades.
Can you forget what's already out there and just share how do you see it?
Well, that's what led up to my thought today.
What do you hear on the internet about manifestations?
It's partially what I see. And what I see is a lot of really intuitive people that have somehow dedicated a portion of their life to not only having their own experiences, but then writing about them, speaking about them, doing a lecture tour about them, becoming a motivational speaker about them, and things like this. I don't feel that that's my position. I feel like my position is what I would like to see on the internet. And that is, I would really like to be a part of someone's journey through manifestation. And that's what I'm interested in presenting here at Plaza Grande. We actually devote a lot of resources to documenting it. And so it's not like anybody's on this curriculum of manifestation, which I see on the internet. Chapter 1, chill the frick out. Chapter 2, say the right words. And then by chapter so-and-so, it's on you. You are left to apply all of these things. And the biggest common denominators that I see and I agree with in manifestation techniques is to not undo yourself, not to be putting out something in thought, which is free, great place to start, the ultimate investment, and then to feel it as you have already received it. So to me, I translate that manifestation as this visualization of what I want with the feeling immediately accompanied by this infused power of gratitude, because that gratitude, I believe, is a real power. That gratitude, I believe, is this tremendous energy. It's not just this something your mom told you. Say thank you. I've had that practice on and off in my life because I've been kind of dodgy with my commitment to a spiritual path. I mean, I live it, but I get lazy and forgetful. At the gym, on the treadmill, I would have mantras. Other people would be listening to music, which I did, but sometimes I'm like, you know what, I just need to get it through my freaking mind. And so I'd say it again and again. I would choose a mantra of the time. Even these days where I'm outside walking in my neighborhood, I go through this thank you method. And what I realized is that it is a bit of a download, meaning I'm getting things off my chest. Thank you for the house. Thank you for my legs. Thank you for these shoes. Thank you for this walk. Thank you for that squirrel. Thank you for the sky. Thank you. It becomes this hyper noticing. And then it's like, I got to unwind from that. And then the gratitude shifts into a feeling rather than a group of statements. And it becomes more lyrical, I would say. Lyrical in the sense of, I no longer think gratitude. I just feel different. And then I stay with that feeling until I go, oh, squirrel. And I'm like, okay, reset. This is the thing for me that's been a struggle with manifestation. And this is why I'm interested in talking about the journey as my journey, not as somebody who's already arrived at it. I have been successful in manifestation old school. You put a hammer in your hands, you swing the hammer, you hit the nail, you connect the boards, you sell the boards, you go to the next hammer, you hit the next nail. Man, I've hit a lot of nails. I don't want to do that anymore. And although I was advised at a very young age of how to do it differently, I didn't believe in it enough. I feel like I needed to clearly experience it because I doubted it, and because this quantum approach didn't give me results on a schedule. Instead of the working approach, which I was like, I have the hammer, I'm about to use the hammer, boom. Okay, that's my timeline. And here's the result. I can see it. And then I thought, well, that was exhausting 30 years later. I don't know. I wore myself out. And my teacher, Don Weldon, he was like, well, sometimes you learn by just getting tired of hitting your head. I guess it took a long time for me to get tired. You know, creating matter from matter is what I was surrounded with. At home, at school, people that I worked with, TV, advertisements, work hard, all this sort of stuff. And now, fortunately, that's different. We talked about how it's different on the internet now. There's different dialogue, there's different vocabulary. I told that story one time where I was online dating, and that was in 2012. And I got tired of all the window shopping and word search. and I typed in meditation. You remember this story? 2 girls came up under the word meditation. One was, if meditation is for you, go to the next person. The other one was, meditation is critical in my life. So I dated that fantastic woman for a long time. And then fast forward through successful, unsuccessful relationship. And then I online dated again, but this time, man, I went right for the word search. Clearly my evaluation of something from a physical perspective was based on fantasy alone. I entered the word meditation, and it's like hundreds and hundreds of women had that in their descriptions. And I think it had to do with the yoga movement in the US. That had been a big deal. I don't know what the equivalent yoga movement is for men, but Jesus, how much longer is it to mixed martial arts? I don't know, different topic. But so this manifestation thing, there's a vocabulary. It's not new, it's just more common. I think I had a dollar value on manifestation before, and the dollar value was not necessarily money in the bank, but energy that I could buy someone else's time because I had all these projects I wanted to move forward. You hear me go on about that all the time. But I tricked myself, I changed the goal. I think that I go back and forth in this transition in my journey between materializing from matter to matter and materializing from the quantum and thought and the shift in attitudes and the shift in these things. And I'm on the fence, off the fence. That is what slows me down because I'll lose faith. And then I go, oh, here it is again, this pattern. I think there's camera clarity and there's something else. Camera clarity goes back to the things that I was referencing on the internet. Somebody on camera, either the chaos is really evident really quick, right? And just too many rainbows or too many unicorn horns or too many cat ears or something silly. I'm exaggerating, but things on the internet are very, produced. Even when they're not, they are, because it's like, oh, I'm going to sit down, turn on the lights, I'm going to talk about something, and everything needs to look good so somebody watches. And this is a part of why I'm interested in documenting the journey. I was thinking it'd be fantastic. I have this desire as a part of Don's group, Creative Guidelines, years ago, and I was in a room where someone was channeling, and I saw, and I don't have to question where the message was coming from. The message was beautiful, it was loving. So channeling to me was not something that I had doubt in or needed to be convinced of. And I thought, what a remarkable journey to actually have that unfold on camera. What if we were learning to channel and documented the process? Because that is the missing piece. And it's the same on the internet. I'm interested in hearing what all these authors have to say, but where's the pieces in between? Where's that journey documented? Everybody wants to hear from a millionaire or a billionaire. How did you do it? How did you do it? But they're not so interesting while they're doing it. It's kind of a shit show.
Everybody wants to hear from a millionaire because that's the credibility. You raise the credibility, now you're someone to be listened to.
Yeah, but the millionaire thing isn't enough for some. If someone else will update their credibility, I'm like, 10 million. If you did 10 million, I'm curious. If you have a dollar choice, I would think, well, that's maybe not the right target. I look at the energy of the person who's giving the message. I was never somebody that was, oh, that person only, that messenger only. I was always, oh, here's a garden. We'll get a little bit over here, a little bit over here. This is about the house. This is about the family. This is about the business. There's gems sort of everywhere that were coming forward. But that journey, the boring part, not so common. And so I was thinking, even if I do it for myself, because there's times when I channel. Look at the art, right? That's not all me. There's different methods that I channel, and I would like to have a more traditional sense of channeling. I'm interested in, I don't really want to go much further relying on all these other voices. I want to know that my voice is connected to something pure. I think I reference it as this global comment of it's a communication style. Before it was TV, before it was radio, and I get a lot of information from the internet. I enjoy listening to people who have really great perspectives, and I would like to have that flow in my own sphere of responsibility.
Can you explain more about channeling?
My definition of vocal channeling is sitting still, moving my ego, my personality to the side, or wherever. I would call it in a relaxed state, in so much that this is where it sounds weird, another entity can use my vocal cords to present a thought topic or something. And that during the experience of that, I may not be completely aware of the message, so it's really good to record it. It's not necessarily a psychic experience. It's not so much about that. It's more of a spiritual pursuit of, hey channel, what is the meaning of this idea, this understanding? More about something more philosophical than answering. I like this channel that I watch on YouTube, and I like him because he looks like an accountant. It's not a bunch of credibility busters. I don't have like decks of cards everywhere with all these decorations in the background that are important to that person, but to me, it's distracting.